Studio K at Foxboro Cable Access.
Saffron is essentially the stamen of a rose.
Feeling creative?
Sage has a great flavor.
Is your palate needing a new challenge? Well, let's cook with Mike Damasio.
Hi everybody and welcome back to another show of Let's Cook with Mike. I'm your host Mike Damasio, and today we have a nice Italian homemade meal for you. We're going to make some homemade gnocchi, ricotta gnocchi, with a roasted tomato sauce. Not a lot of stuff to do, but it's going to take time to make the dough. So let's get going right away. Just to go over what we're going to be doing, we have our flour and ricotta cheese and eggs. We're just going to be using the yolk. I have my water boiling for the gnocchi to get ready. We don't want to waste time watching water boil. And then we'll make our sauce in the end with some tremendous jarred tomatoes from one of our cameramen, Neil's garden, and I'm excited to use them. I did bring, regular tomatoes. I was going to cook them and peel the skin and roast, but we have them all ready to go in this delicious jar, and I'm excited to use them. So let's cook. So it's been a while since I've made a fresh gnocchi from scratch, but we're going to go through it together today. It's, again, very simple, 3-4 ingredients to make it happen, and it should be fun to do. So what we're going to do first is we're going to pour almost all of our flour onto the table here, and we're going to make a little well. All right. Then we're going to take our eggs, and we're just going to use the egg yolks, and we're going to use 3 of them. All right. Now this is going to make a lot of gnocchi dough, and the beautiful part of that is that you can reuse it. You can freeze it, store it and reuse it for another time when you want to make gnocchi, or really any other pasta that you want to make. If you have a pasta maker, you can use the same dough to stretch out and make any other pasta you'd like to make. But we're going to make some homemade gnocchi here, which are a little easier to make. You don't need the machine to do it. I'm going to just change my gloves here. Actually, I'll wait a little bit. And I'm going to get the ricotta in here. And what we're going to do is just start to mix this together by hand, slowly, and incorporate it all together, and eventually we're going to get a delicious dough. While I'm mixing it, I'm also going to add some of our Parmesan cheese. Again, this will be kind of just a taste. Basil snuck in. It's a little early for you, Basil. We'll get to you in a little bit. Right. So we're just going to start to incorporate this, and as you'll see, it'll start to come to a ball. You don't want to over mix it either. You just want to get it all together, and this will come into a nice smooth ball. We need a guy with a little monkey and an organ here. Waste some time, entertain you in the meantime. But so there's 2 different ways of making gnocchi. You can use the ricotta cheese, or you can do a potato. The potato, you get a little more dense gnocchi, where the ricotta cheese, you're going to get a little more light and airy, and they toast up nice in the pan, so you get a nice little crisp on the outside, and the inside will be nice and fluffy. So we're going to try to get all this flour. Again, we have some more flour if we need it. And then let's just say the dough wasn't sticky, because you want it to be a little sticky. If the dough wasn't very sticky, you could use some of your egg white to get it moist again. But it looks like we have a really perfect consistency here. And we're just going to keep working this into a ball. I'm going to add just a little more flour. Right, and this again will make a few meals worth of gnocchi, and you'll see why once we start cutting and rolling it up. Again, here everything we do here in Studio K on the Let's Cook with Mike show is very simple, very easy, takes no time to do. If you don't mind a little mess, or if you have young daughters or sons that like to clean up after you, they always make the best cleaner-uppers, especially if they're going to eat. So here we go. We don't want to over knead it too much. So what we got is our little ball here. Perfect. I'm going to chop this into a bunch of pieces here. All right, with our little dough cutter. We're going to reserve these pieces to the side. And we're going to just use one piece here. And all we're going to do is we're going to roll this out to a thin diameter, you know, thinner than a dime. Like, you want to get it as thin as you can. Which is pretty good. Try to get it all the way across. Same thing here. Again, you can make them any size you want, right? Gnocchi is basically a dumpling. Every culture has its dumpling. This is the Italian version of their dumpling. All right. Now we're going to take these and cut them into just about an inch piece. Do it with this one too. Again, as you can see here, just that little bit, that quarter piece of that dough is going to make enough pasta for, just about 2 people here. All right. So we have our nice little dough gnocchi dumplings. And what we're going to do is we're going to just add a little texture to them. And what this is going to do is it's going to help hold the sauce that we make for it into them. Or else, being a smooth side, right? You're not going to get anything being held on these. On the gnocchi, the sauce will just fall right off. So you just want to put these little pockets. Again, they have boards that you can make these with. You can do it with your thumb. People do them like that with their thumb, right? They just do a little curl, and then they have just a little pocket for their gnocchi, right? So you can do these any way you want. You can put any design on them. I like doing the fork. It just makes it a little, again, like a little holding areas for your sauce. All right, and we're going to throw these in the boiling water, which seems to be boiling pretty well. Now, these are going to take just a few minutes to cook, so I'm not going to throw them in right away. What we're going to do is I'm going to start our sauce, and then as the sauce gets closer to completion, we'll throw these gnocchi in, so everything, again, comes out at one time. So that way nobody's waiting for anything, nothing gets changed in temperature, and everything comes out delicious. Right, again, very easy texture, very easy to do. Okay, I'm going to put these just at the top here, keep them aside. Just give them just a little bit of flour so they don't dry out too much. Right, I'm going to grab this cutting board to do my vegetables. All right, so now we're going to start to make our sauce, which means power on. Power, temp. Do buttons beeping. All right, and we're going to get some garlic, 2 cloves of garlic, nice and fresh, never fake. All right, and then we're going to use about a half of this onion here and get cruising. Okay, cut half this onion. Again, I like to take the skin off. Take the little tops and bottoms off, peel that top layer off. All right, sounds like our pan's getting nice and hot. Again, there's lots of ways of cleaning garlic. I have mine, you have yours. People shake them, cut them, squish them. However you like to do it. You have the tough skin, just give it a little bit, cut in half, right? Get the skin that won't come off, just cut the garlic in half, not all the way through, and the outside layer will come right off nice and easy. You want to cut that little tip off, right? That holds it to the vine. And then again, if you're having trouble with this outside layer, cut it almost all the way through. And when you split it, the outside layer should peel right off. And it did. Again, we don't have to be too specific with our cut here today because we are going to end up going into our blender with all this delicious ingredients. So I'm going to just rough chop my garlic here, make sure that it will be able to infuse with the rest of the sauce. going to just cut these into pieces. Again, it's all going to get sauteed up. I have some, again, we're going to use our Italian herb mix that we have there, some basil, oregano, and fresh parsley, and of course, our delicious fresh tomatoes. All right, so first we're going to start off with the sauce here. We're going to saute up. Saute up. About a tablespoon of oil. This recipe will be on the end of the show. And we're going to make one more roll of gnocchi after I stop my sauce. Producer Deb is saying everybody's hungry and we need to make more gnocchi or else the staff will revolt, and we don't need that. Nobody needs that. All right, some salt and pepper. Okay, so we'll roll out one more thing of gnocchi. So again, here we go. We're just gonna roll these into tubes. Pretty good for the first time in a long time. Oh yeah. And my fork. Again, if you make them all the same size, they'll cook more consistently, right? If you have one that's larger, bigger or smaller, you're going to get them all kind of floating at different times, and we want it all to come out at one time. Again, just a quick little thing with the fork. This, again, it's just to hold the sauce in. The smooth sides, right? Smooth sides, you're not going to get a nice grab of the salt, of the sauce. Our vegetables are roasting up nice with those fresh herbs, getting a nice little char on them. Now we're going to add our tomatoes to this. Oh man, those look good, Neil. Nice job. Oh yeah. So we're just going to saute this up. Again, this is a different method of making a sauce. You can buy your cans in the store and just go right into a pot, or you can use fresh tomatoes like I was going to do, boil off the skin with just a little score in the skin before you drop them in the boiling water just for a few minutes. Let the skin start to fall away. You take the tomato out, chop them up. I like this method better. It's more fresh. You're making it from scratch. They're they're whole tomatoes. I just think it's just a better product in the end. All right, let's finish rolling these while that sauce simmers. These two together. Boop. Boop. Right, and again, you can do all different kinds of pastas with these, anything you want to do. All right, so we have our sauce here. It's cooking down. Keep cooking, very good. And now we can put our gnocchi in the water. All right. Once they start floating, they are done. And one last one. Throw that piece of garlic in there. All right. So now we're just going to wait for that to go. We're going to bring our sauce. Seems to be in a good spot. Again, we're going to put this mixture in our NutriBullet, a new favorite tool of mine. Delish. All right. Fresh sauce. So again, we're going to put this back in our pan. Mama Pajama. That's a good one. All right. And we're gonna turn this back on here with the beeps and the boops. Boop, beep, boop. And I'm just gonna add just a little bit of cream to it. See our gnocchi all nice and floaty. We're going to just turn that off because they are done. And we're gonna do something fun with those gnocchi too. We're just gonna add a little bit of the cream in there. Make it more of a pink sauce. Oh. Delicious. That's thickening it up really well is on top. Now we're gonna need to make some noise and do some stuff here because I need these things. Forgot all about those. All right. So I'm taking out this other pan here because what we're gonna do is we're gonna take. Whoa, we got the volcano of sauce going. Let's turn that off for now. That's in good shape. All right, so I'm going to take the gnocchi. I'm going to strain it over here behind me. I'm going to start up this pan. I'm going to start up this pan. Let me strain my gnocchi here. Gnocchi strained. We're going to let this get a little warm here. Get this water out of the pan. Beep, boop, beep, boop. Okay, a little bit of oil. We're gonna saute up these gnocchi just for a second. Get a little bit of a crisp on them, just to give it a little bit more texture. Okay, give that just a second. So again, these gnocchi, again, we have all these other doughs here, right? You can do, just for a little example, right? You can roll these out, make them into different types of pasta, right? The thinner you make it, right, you can just do things like, you can put twists on them, you can make them, you could roll them through the machine and get them flat into any kind of spaghetti shape, pasta shape that you want. Very versatile to use and very easy to make. So anytime you want to do something with that dough, it'll freeze great, let it thaw, and you can use it the next time you want to use it. All right, let's get this going. Need it to be a little hotter. Okay, let's see how we do here. All right, this is good. We're gonna get a little sizzle, get them a little crunchy. We'll change the whole way you look at the gnocchi. Instead of just being soft, you get a little bit of an exterior crunch to it, and it just makes it for a better product. So, get ready for our plating because we're getting really close. All right, we're gonna do some of these as well, and with the gnocchi. Again, cherry tomatoes, put them in there under your hand. Just run the knife through it, don't cut your hand. And you have some nice cherry tomatoes. Gonna throw them in there as well for some color. You can see the gnocchi starting to toast just a little bit on these sides, so this is exactly what we're going for. All right, once we toss these, add a little bit of our Italian herb. Delicious. We're getting ready to plate in just a second. Boom. A nice homemade Italian meal, again done in the magic of Studio K in under 30 minutes. Delicious homemade meal that you can make in short time with not a lot of ingredients. Time for the plating. Because we have such a crowd here today at Studio K, I have to make two of everything. nice, kind of even. Boys pans, girls pans, little cooties. All right. Top it off with our nice homemade sauce. Got a little flour on our things. Some Parmesan cheese. World record. All right. Holy moly, there you go. A delicious roasted tomato sauce over homemade gnocchi, ricotta gnocchi with some cherry tomatoes. A delicious meal to either start a meal or as a main course, right? This is a great starter meal if you want as well, an appetizer. But there you have it. Again, the magic of Studio K. Homemade gnocchi, roasted tomato sauce. Hope you enjoyed the show. The recipe will be at the end of the program. I look forward to seeing you again. That's all for Let's Cook with Mike. Have a great one.